Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing good. Haven't talked a while about stocks, so I thought I'd do a little video today about the stocks. And yeah, so kind of, and we've talked a lot about the generational wealth, and this is not financial advice. Just telling you guys, recording my journey. That's about it. And I have been working with the wheel strategy. So I've been working with the wheel strategy for a while now. I kind of do a lot of combination. I do a little bit of stock options trading, do stock trading, and I do the dividends, and then I do wheel strategy. And the wheel strategy really basically is you buy a cash secured put. So I'll give you a stock that I really like. Okay, and that's going to be UUU. So UUU, yeah, there are 4 U's. UUUU, that's what it is. Ticker symbol. It's Energy Fuels, which is doing really well right now. So when I first bought it, I did the cash secured put because I liked it. And I was like, okay, I think this would be a good stock. So like if I turn around and if I go in my account and I go underneath my options, go trade options, and if let's say I was going to I'm coming into this fresh and I want to buy this stock with the wheel strategy, I'm going to say sell. I want to sell an option, and I want to sell a put. So I'm going to sell a put, which is a CSP, cash secured put. So you're going to secure it with your cash. So if I say, hey, I really like the stock right now today is at $19.12. So I usually will look for, depending if I want the stock. Like if I really wanted the stock, I would probably buy, whatever was close just to get a good price. Otherwise, I try to look for, there's no magical thing, but I look for like the delta 30. So in this case, the UUUU, if I do a sell a put, my $18 strike, it's at $19.14 right now. It just went up a penny, but it's at $19.14. And if I do $18, it's at a delta of 28.2. So that's pretty close to my 30. So I would turn around and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and it's going out till a week. So this stock, it does it by the week, 7 days. Today is Monday. So I could turn around and I could say, okay, I'm willing to buy this at $18. So I'm going to put up for collateral $1,800 because you're buying 100 shares when you do the option. So I would put this and say, okay, I'll buy this at $18. They put a hold on $1,800, but they're willing to give me $37 to do that. So I get the $37 right now. That's 37 cents a share. So if I end up where this stock goes down in the next week by Friday night, if it's below $18, I end up having to buy it. But my actual cost is only going to be $17 and change because I'm getting 37 cents per share. So that's only $17.63 is all I'm really paying for, my actual price. But I don't think, it's only a 28% chance that it's going to hit that. So it could, you never know. So I do the $18 and I make $37. Well, that $37 is 2%, right? 2% is 36 cents. So if I end up not getting this, if it stays above 18 on Friday, the close of Friday, if it's above 18, then I get my $1,800 back, and I got to keep the $37. So that means I made 2% in 1 week. That's really good returns. If for some reason the stock really tanks because it's got bad news or whatever, and it goes below the 18, I'll end up owning 100 shares. And I still get to keep the $37, but it cost me 100 shares at $18. Well, let's just say that I ended up getting these shares. Let's say it went down and I ended up getting them. I could do then the next week, I could do a call. I could do a sell a call, which is a CC. And because I own the shares, I can say, hey, let's look for here. It's at 19.15 now, and I could do a $20.50 sell a call. So for the $20.50, they're paying me 36 cents, so $36. That happens to also be the 29 delta, 0.29. I like that. Everyone likes different ones. Some like it below like 25, some like 35, 40. It just depends on what you're trying to do. But if I'm just looking to make, 2% or close to 2%, usually I stay around the 30. So, I mean, I could sell this and I'm going to make $36. Now, if it gets to $20.50 on Friday, then I lose my shares, but they're paying me $20.50. And remember, I bought them for $18. So I made $250 off of them buying them off me. Plus, I got to keep the $36. If it never hits $20.50, I get to keep the $36. I made my 2%. The next week, I go do the same thing. You're basically like renting. It's like buying a house and renting it out. You buy the stock and you rent it out. And that's all you're doing is renting out your option shares. You have to own 100 shares of the stock. So sometimes if I think a stock is going to really be going up, I'll buy it just to buy it. And then once it gets up there, then I'll do my cash secured call, because that's when you get the best premium. And then even though it goes down, it don't matter because you already got your money. So you have to look it up, because I'm probably not giving you the full details. And so, like I said, it's not financial advice, and you need to take your own risks, and you need to really do your own research. But this is what I've been doing a lot of. I actually do this more than any other trading. The nice thing about it is I don't see a lot of people. You get a lot of these groups, which I'm in a lot of the groups, and they teach you about option trading. So let's say I own these shares, and let's say I do the $20.50. If these shares go down, I can actually close out of my position if it's for less money. Like I've got one right now, right? So my UUU here, I'm in, okay, I did a UUUU put. I did a cash secured put, meaning I did not own the shares, but I put the money up for collateral. It was at $18. So I did this, it was an $18 put, and it expires this Friday. I got paid 50 cents, so I got paid $50. Worth it to me because it was over 2%. I'm like, hey, what the heck? That's, to me, that's what, almost 3%. I'm happy as could be with that. And so right now, though, as of today, being Monday, it's only at 45 cents. So I could close this out today, and I have to give them $45 back of that 50, but I'm still up $5. So if for some reason I needed my money back, or like it could go down to zero. It could be, I've had some where they've gone down to zero, and people freak out because they're like, oh my gosh, it's gone down, it says zero, but that's what you want because you paid 50 cents. So if you're selling it back and you buy it back even at 5 cents, you're going to make 45 cents, which is $45. That gets a little more complicated. So I would really just stick to the one thing. But doing the what I'm doing, the cash secured puts and the covered calls, I really like. I mean, if you're into a stock and you're like, well, I'm not sure what this stock's going to do. Here's another one that's pretty good is AMPX. Stock ticker AMPX. So it is Amprius Technologies. I think they do like oil, energy mining or something like that. Anyway, so if I do a sell, a put for this Friday, I would probably be looking at the 30 delta. And it looks like 17, it's at 18.52, and $17 is 24 delta. So I would probably do that one. So you could make $30. So on the $17, you're not quite doing 2%, but it's still good money. I happen to own the 100 shares because I did do this as a cash secured pot. So now I sell calls on it. And so now if I do the sell call, it's at 1849, 1850, let's say. And if I look for, here's a delta of 0.29. So if I do $20, I'm going to make $35. So I'm making like 1.5%, 1.6% or something like that. So it's not as good as you. But I do like, there's a lot. I was in AAOI. I was in that stock for months, between 40 and 50 bucks. 40 and 50 bucks like for months. And, you know, it went up to like $110 or 120. So I ended up selling out. I got a bunch of gains from it, but I also made a bunch of money from renting the stock. I could have, you know, and then you could have made more money if I owned it, because it like more than doubled. But for the amount of time I had it, I made more than that anyways. So I was okay with that. So you do have that risk of it skyrocketing, but you have the risk of it plummeting too. So you have to do this on a stock that not only is pretty good, but it's one that you really want to own. You know, it's a stock that if you do the cash secured put, it's something you don't mind owning, and a price that you don't mind owning. So these are good stocks. I like these. But just to give you an idea, I don't talk about this much. And most people, I think we just really do percentages. But so like 1 week, I am up 6.7%. This is what my brokerage says. That's not much. 1 month, I am up 13.92. So a month of trading, my average up is 13.92. And my 3 month, so 3 month, I'm at 18%, 18.8 or something, but 18%. My year to date, meaning it's 2026, so from January until it's now middle of March. So from January to today, I am up 19.2%. That's pretty good for the first quarter of the year. I'm up at 19%. Like, that's a really good returns. So 1 year. So from last March until today, 12 full months, I am up 142.53%. So 142% I'm up. You know, and I talk about these videos. I mean, the whole thing is, you know, generational wealth. And it doesn't matter if you started with some little stock that's like hardly anything. I mean, I don't know whether this one pays shares. So, yeah, so like this one, it's NAT, which is a shipping company. Just because of the Iran war and all that stuff, I got into shipping stock. And this one I just bought just to buy, and it doesn't really pay much. Like it says here, $5. If I do a put, a secured put, for 1 week, I'm going to get 5 cents. So it's $5. So what's that, 1%? At least it's something. If I own the share, like I own the shares right now, I could turn around and do a sell call for a week, and I could do $5.50. And at $5.50, I'm going to make 5 cents, which is $5. So I make 1%. And if it did sell, I then make that 50 cents for the 100 shares. So I make 50 bucks. I'm not looking to do that for it, but I mean, I'm just saying you can get into small stocks that are doing this. I mean, you know, could pick something in case you guys are a little bit more on the smaller end. I think, because I tend to find the best ones for the stocks that are like $20 to $50. That seems to be the best premiums is what I'm noticing. But even on a stock, here's one, Clean Spark, because the Bitcoin and stuff has been going up. So on this one here, you could do a sell, a put, and you would get, it's at $9.95. Probably wouldn't mind owning this one at $9.50. So you'd make $27. So that's not bad. That's 2.5% for the week. And if you already owned it, you could do the $10.50 sell a call, and you make $23. Plus, of course, if it's sold, you'd make another $150 from the shares. So you can do it on a $10 stock, which would be a $1,000 investment. But I do find, when I first started, it was really hard for me to find the stocks that were on the lower end. So I did, just kind of played around with it, and but I've learned a lot too about the options, because then I get to see, and like a couple times I'll end up owning the shares, and I'll do the secured calls, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going up, or even reverse, if I don't even own it and I'm doing the puts, and I'm in the profit. Like maybe they gave me $50, but I'm already in the profit 50%, where it says if I sell, I only have to give them 25 of that 50 back, and it's only been a day. And I'm like, shoot, $25 in one day, why not? And I do it. But I learn a lot then about, because then for me, I always guess the direction. Like, I think the stock's going to do blah, blah, and then I watch. Well, it doesn't matter to me which direction it goes, because I've already made my money, and I'm either going to own the stock or I'm going to get my money back at the end of the week. But it's got to be at the end of the week, right? So I don't really care, but it does give you this learning pattern for you to get more into the direction. And I don't see a lot of these groups, I guess is why I started to say, when they do the stock options, they should be teaching people more about doing the wheel strategy of the cash secured puts and covered calls, because it gets them used to the learning pattern of options, and gets them more comfortable without them really having the risk of losing a lot of money, because you can make a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money on options. So that's why these secured, cash secured puts or covered calls are great. Anyways, I know a lot of people I have not talked too much about what my gains have been, but I'm just saying, for me, that's pretty cool. For all of 2025, 142% return. That's pretty awesome for me. And then, so I've had my account for, I don't remember how long, to be honest with you. But I want to think like 2023, 24, I don't know. But altogether, I'm up 41%. So the life of my account, my brokerage account, I'm up 40%. So that's taking into account any of the losses that I've had, or any of the gains, everything all together. Well, it's pretty good to be getting a 40% return. So for every $100, I'm up $40. So that's pretty good. Anyway, I'm happy as could be with it. So hope that helps you guys out a lot. And yeah, thanks for listening or watching. Talk to you later. Bye.